The Steam Deck OLED MSI Claw 8 AI+, Asus ROG Ally X, Lenovo Legion Go, and Nintendo Switch 2 are the most popular handheld gaming consoles of 2025. But which is the absolute best? We're going to compare them to each other and score them in various categories, with some categories holding more weight than others. In the end, we'll decide which is the best one based on the final score, and we will declare the absolute winner. Let's dive in. First, we're going to compare them on the game library category, which has a multiplier of 2. The Steam Deck OLED offers an unparalleled library by tapping into the vast Steam ecosystem, giving me access to thousands of PC titles from AAA behemoths to indie darlings. Although I do have to occasionally tweak settings for unsupported games, which can break the immersion. I give it a 9.5 out of 10. With the MSI Claw 8 AI+, I get the flexibility of a full Windows device, allowing me to install any launcher from Steam to EmuDeck for incredible emulation, but the overall software experience feels less refined and requires some initial setup to feel like a true console. I give it a 7.5 out of 10. The Asus ROG Ally X also runs on Windows, but stands out with its fantastic Xbox Game Pass integration, which makes jumping into a massive catalog of PC and cloud games feel almost seamless, even if you're still navigating a desktop operating system at its core. I give it an 8.0 out of 10. On the Lenovo Legion Go, I can play demanding titles like Cyberpunk 2077 thanks to its powerful internals, but navigating the massive Windows library often feels cumbersome, pulling me out of the handheld experience more than I'd like. I give it a 7.8 out of 10. Finally, the Nintendo Switch 2 presents a more curated but absolutely stellar collection of exclusives like Mario Kart World that you simply cannot play anywhere else. And while its third-party support has improved, the library size and game prices can't match the sheer value found on PC-based rivals. I give it a 9.0 out of 10. The Steam Deck OLED takes the win here with a score of 9.5, purely because its massive and affordable game library offers more variety than any other handheld on the market. Next, we're going to compare them on the battery life category, which has a multiplier of 1.5. The Steam Deck OLED is a solid performer, giving me an impressive 7 to 10 hours with less demanding indie games, thanks to its efficient 50-watt-hour battery and power-sipping OLED screen. But it struggles to last much more than 2 hours when I push it with graphically intense titles like Cyberpunk 2077. It gets a 7.8 out of 10. With the MSI Claw 8 AI+, I could squeeze out almost 3 hours of playtime in demanding games by running it at a modest 17 watts, but cranking it up to its full 30-watt potential for maximum performance cuts, that down to a much less impressive 1 hour and 40 minutes, even with its huge 80-watt-hour battery. I rated an 8.5 out of 10. Asus really doubled down on endurance with the ROG Ally X, literally packing in a massive 80-watt-hour battery that delivered over double the playtime of its predecessor, letting me comfortably play demanding games for nearly 4 hours in its silent mode, which is just insane for a Windows handheld. It earns a 9.5 out of 10. I found the Lenovo Legion Go to be a mixed bag. While its 49.2 watt-hour battery could give me around 2 hours in a heavy game, which is acceptable, the battery drained so quickly in sleep mode that I often came back to a dead device just hours later, forcing me to shut it down completely every time. This gets a 6.5 out of 10. Finally, the Nintendo Switch 2 felt a bit disappointing, as Nintendo only claims between 2 and 6.5 hours of play, and in my experience, playing the latest demanding titles barely got me over that 2-hour mark, which just doesn't feel like enough for a device meant to be played on the go. For that, it gets a 6.0 out of 10. The clear winner for battery life is the Asus ROG Ally X with 9.5 points because its massive battery and incredible power optimization provide the longest and most consistent gaming sessions out of all the handhelds I've tested. Next, we're going to compare them on the performance and graphics category, which has a multiplier of 2x. The Steam Deck OLED delivers an incredibly smooth and visually stunning experience thanks to its vibrant 90Hz HDR OLED screen. But its choice to stick with a 1280 by 800 pixel resolution means it simply cannot match the raw graphical output of its more powerful competitors, giving it a 7.8 out of 10. MSI's Claw 8 AI Plus completely surprised me with its Intel chip, offering a much smoother ride in games like Forza Horizon 5, where it achieved over 90 frames per second, easily beating the Steam Deck, and it stayed impressively quiet and cool while doing it, earning it an 8.8 out of 10. The Asus ROG Ally X is an absolute powerhouse designed for pure handheld gaming performance, using AMD's Ryzen Z1 Extreme processor and an impressive 24 gigabytes of ultra-fast 7500 MHz RAM to boost frame rates, though you will definitely feel the heat and hear the fans when you push it to its limit, so it gets an 8.5 out of 10. Lenovo's Legion Go packs that same potent Ryzen Z1 Extreme chip as the ROG Ally X, but its larger and higher resolution screen, while beautiful, often demands more power than the hardware can comfortably provide, leading to a less consistent experience unless you're willing to lower the settings, which is why I am giving it a 7.5 out of 10. Finally, the Nintendo Switch 2 feels like it is in a different league, providing a visual experience in games like The Legend of Zelda that is a massive upgrade over the original, hitting a smooth 60 frames per second in 4K on a television, and running demanding third-party games natively that the first Switch could only dream of, which lands it a 9.3 out of 10. With a score of 9.3, the Nintendo Switch 2 takes the win here because of its incredible optimization that delivers a console-quality 4K experience that punches far above its weight. Next, we're going to compare them on the portability and design category, which has a multiplier of 1.5. The Steam Deck OLED feels great in the hands with its refined ergonomics and premium matte finish that resists fingerprints, and while it is a bit lighter and has a larger screen and a similar-sized body thanks to thinner bezels, it remains a large and somewhat cumbersome device to travel with compared to more compact options, earning it a 7.8 out of 10. At 700 buyouts and 795 grams, the MSI Claw 8 AI Plus is a real handful and one of the heavier options here, but I found its rounded sides and contoured back to be exceptionally comfortable for long gaming sessions. However, the fact that it doesn't come with a carrying case is a major oversight for a portable console, which is why it gets a 7.2 out of 10. The Asus ROG Ally X is surprisingly light for the power it packs, weighing about the same as the Steam Deck and feeling comfortable to hold for extended periods, but it is still almost double the weight of a Nintendo console, which makes it feel less like a true portable and more like a compact gaming personal computer, giving it an 8.5 out of 10. I found the Lenovo Legion Go to be one of the largest and heaviest handhelds in this lineup, which makes it less than ideal for true on-the-go gaming. And although the detachable controllers offer some unique versatility, they also add a layer of complexity that slightly detracts from the pick-up-and-play design philosophy, landing it at a 6.9 out of 10. Finally, the Nintendo Switch 2 feels like a perfected portable console that is fantastic for travel. With a new, sturdy kickstand that spans the entire back and a second USB-C port on top that lets you charge it in tabletop mode, it never felt overly heavy or cumbersome on the go, making it a truly great portable gaming platform that earns a 9.6 out of 10. With its thoughtful design upgrades that perfect on-the-go play, the Nintendo Switch 2 takes the win here with a score of 9.6 out of 10, because it is genuinely travel-friendly and comfortable to use anywhere. Finally, we're going to compare them on the value for money category, which has a multiplier of 3. The Steam Deck OLED offers what I feel is the best overall package for PC gamers on the go, providing a stunning high dynamic range OLED screen and longer battery life than its predecessor, though you're still getting a slightly less powerful custom AMD processor compared to some newer rivals, which is why it gets a 9.2 out of 10. MSI's Claw 8 AI Plus is a massive improvement that finally makes Intel a real competitor in this space, but since it retails for about $100 more than the ROG Ally X, its high price makes it a questionable choice from a value standpoint, earning it a 7.0 out of 10. The Asus ROG Ally X delivers a huge amount of performance for a handheld, but at a retail price of $800 represents a significant investment that delivers for hardcore users, but cannot match the pure dollar-for-dollar value of cheaper alternatives. So I am giving it an 8.5 out of 10. Lenovo's Legion Go is a tough one for me, because while it features a beautiful and fast OLED display with a great button layout, the starting price is an incredibly steep $1,099, which is a very hard sell on value alone, and earns it a 6.5 out of 10. Finally, the Nintendo Switch 2 provides an amazing value proposition with a much lower console price than its PC-based competitors. And even though its games can be more expensive, the access to Nintendo's exclusive library at this price point is simply unmatched, which easily earns it a 9.5 out of 10. The Nintendo Switch 2 takes the win here with a 9.5, proving that you do not need to spend the most to get an incredible and unique gaming experience. The results of our comparison show each product shines in its own way, but the Nintendo Switch 2 stands out with its score of 88.5. After personally experiencing each console, the Nintendo Switch 2 truly impressed me with its combination of portability, performance, and exclusive game library that just can't be matched. It manages to deliver an incredible console-quality 4K experience at an unbeatable price point, affirming that the best gaming experiences are often found where creativity meets accessibility. While the Nintendo Switch 2 emerged as the winner, other consoles offered distinct strengths worth considering. The Steam Deck OLED, with a very close score of 85.6, provided an expansive game library and solid performance, making it a top choice for PC enthusiasts on the move. Similarly, the Asus ROG Ally X scored 85.5 and demonstrated exceptional power and battery life, ideal for users who prioritize hardcore gaming performance. The MSI Claw 8 AI Plus and Lenovo Legion Go, with scores of 77.5 and 70.2 respectively, offer hefty performance and unique features that might appeal to specific niches, despite some trade-offs in value and portability. Ultimately, each of these consoles has unique advantages, catering to different types of gamers depending on personal preferences and gaming priorities.